Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Friday and a good weekend ahead of you. Yeah. So enjoy tonight's theme. I put a little bit of time into it. Yeah, Sinatra's already offended. That's fine. Well, how are you guys doing? How are you, Satsu?
Pretty tired. I'm trying to bring up the theme right now so I can see it.
Okay.
Had a rough night last night, so didn't get a lot of sleep. Squishy's haha, that's cool. Squishy's been up and about trying to do a lot of the stuff that I normally do throughout the day because I've been taking the night shift for Squeetus, and she shouldn't be because she still has her C-section scar, and she's freaking herself out because every time anything happens with it, she goes online and looks up all these fucking people online who are just like, if you have any problems with your scar, then you're probably gonna die. And I'm just like, Squishy, get the fuck off the internet. Cut it out. And she's freaking out, like walking around. Oh my god, I don't know what to do. You think it's bad? Should we call the doctor? I'm like, girl, if you don't sit the fuck down, I am tired. So yeah. Also, I'm really excited too because my mom's supposed to be this Sunday. She's supposed to be coming over and spending pretty much the whole day with us here. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday, so we don't have a stream that day. But me, her, and Squeetus, we might do a stream that day. So be on the lookout for that, guys.
Cool. Monkey, how are you?
I'm one of them days, Scribe. So we're not going to talk about it. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. What do you think about the theme?
I like it. Still feel like I should be the center square because I'm egotistical and such, but
well, no, the center square goes to the character that is trying to destroy all of the surrounding squares.
that's what I do.
No, that's not how that works, Monkey. I'm sorry. As for myself, I'm fine. It was a relatively quiet day at work, although starting next week, as I've mentioned, more likely than not, I will be having my hands full for the foreseeable future every day. So it may be the case that I'll need to take a night off here or there, depending on the circumstances upcoming. But I will play that by ear because I don't know exactly what the schedule is going to be. I will give you guys as much notice as I can if that comes up. Aside from that, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And, I don't know. Good 2/3 if you haven't. Which is, traditional, I guess. By the way, if you break tradition, that's breaking the law. So says California.
That's true.
And share our stuff. Please share it far, wide, and sideways. If you hadn't noticed, a little bit of ahead of time news, that whole YouTube taking people's verification away thing has been reversed because YouTube doesn't know what the hell it's doing when it comes to treating their content creators with some kind of, I don't know, respect or at least, fair communication. Likewise, they don't help to advertise or share the news about the content creators who happen to not be millions of subscribers. So if you like a content creator's stuff, whether they're a large channel, small channel, intermediate, share it all over. Tweet it, put it on Facebook, whatever, because really you guys are our best algorithm for having that happen. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
Let's see. So, anything else to mention before we go into the schnuzz? I'm assuming you guys are game streaming tonight.
Yes.
And that'll be
You sure you're up
Borderlands.
for it, bud?
Oh, yeah.
So you sure you're up for it?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
All right. So, Borderlands 3 after the stream over on 2
Yeah.
cents plus. All right.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, breaking news. Antonio Brown released by the Patriots. That was really fast, wasn't it?
Wait a minute. Didn't he? Okay.
Yeah, it just he just ended up on the team within the last week, less.
It was well. He was technically there for week 1, but not allowed to play. So he played week 2, which was this past Sunday. And yeah, now fired. So he was on the team for 2 weeks.
Aha.
Christ.
Also lost his Nike endorsement the other day too. Antonio Brown released by the Patriots. The New England Patriots are finished with wide receiver Antonio Brown. Quote, the New England Patriots are releasing Antonio Brown, a Patriots team spokesperson said in a statement on Friday afternoon. Quote, we appreciate the hard work of many people over the past 11 days, but we feel it is best to move in a different direction at this time, unquote. Brown, who played in his lone game in a Patriots uniform last Sunday, scoring a touchdown against the Miami Dolphins, took to Twitter on Friday afternoon, thanking the Patriots for the opportunity and saying, the marathon continues. Let's see. In a tweet, Brown's agent Drew Rosenhaus commented on the release. Quote, it's unfortunate things didn't work out with the Patriots, but Antonio is healthy and is looking forward to his next opportunity in the NFL. He wants to play the game he loves, and he hopes to play for another team soon. Despite Brown being released, a league spokesperson said, quote, the NFL investigation is ongoing and will continue. Investigation into what, you say? The move to release Brown comes just a few hours after head coach Bill Belichick walked out of his news conference with reporters, refusing to answer questions on Brown. But in a week when a second woman has accused Brown of sexual misconduct, and with Nike cutting ties with the Patriots wide receiver, the questions continue to come. Okay. Is this guy employable on any team at this point?
Not for the short term.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the NFL, so maybe.
Yeah.
And you can punch your woman in an elevator and it's okay.
I remember that. Oh, yeah.
How do you think Colin Kaepernick feels about this?
I'm
sure he'll let his opinion be known if he has one.
He might end up playing for Miami. But yeah, I'm not going to say nobody will hire him because, again, it's the NFL, and it is just allegations at the moment, so we'll see.
Oh, Bluntly Blondie says it's just Bear Man. Well, I had thought, unfortunately, after the fact, to make it Substantive Man, but I don't know if I would have been able to fit that in the space I had. Fortunately, he's just Bear Man. I'm sure I could have come up with something more insulting, but yeah, I rag on him enough. I think he can't take too much. I don't want to bruise his delicate skin.
Wow.
Sorry, what?
I said, wow.
Oh, okay. So there was that. Also, moving on. How about some Trump news?
Yay.
So I'm still unclear if this is what the whistleblower promise on the phone thing was, but this was the big news today regarding Trump. Trump pressured Ukraine's president to investigate Biden's son. I still am very confused by this. President Donald Trump pressed Ukraine's president to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's son during a call earlier this summer, a person familiar with the situation said Friday. That call, which took place on July 25th, one day after former special counsel Robert Mueller testified before Congress about Russian interference in U.S. elections, was also part of a whistleblower complaint submitted to the Intelligence Community Inspector General, the source added, a revelation that is likely to raise more questions in the ongoing controversy. Okay, you're saying this with such certitude. I'm waiting for you to tell us how you know for a fact this is what happened and wasn't just a one source you're taking this from. Oh, I see. Never mind. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report that Trump pressured Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during the July phone call to investigate Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's son, Hunter, citing multiple people familiar with the matter. The Journal also reported that Trump told Zelensky, quote, that he should work with Mr. Giuliani on Biden and that people in Washington wanted to know, unquote, whether allegations were true or not, one of the people said, according to the Journal. All right, how many degrees of separation has CNN just put themselves between this and the story with that one sentence? 2, 3?
Yeah.
Trump did not discuss a pending aid package to the country in the July 25th call, indicating there may not have been an explicit quid pro quo outlined by the president in the conversation, the source familiar with the issue told CNN. A readout of the call put out by the Ukrainian government says, quote, Trump is convinced that the new Ukrainian government will be able to quickly improve image of Ukraine, complete investigation of corruption cases, which inhibited the interaction between Ukraine and the USA, unquote. I'm still unclear. Does anybody know offhand how Joe Biden's son relates to the Ukraine?
There's some, I do not remember the particulars, and I'm sorry for that, but there's some suggestion that he was involved in a corruption scandal over there. Something to do with, what the hell was it? God, this was going around right after Joe first got into the race.
Right. Maybe the story's got it buried in here somewhere. I would have thought they would have put that higher up to try to give us some information, but God forbid CNN actually clarify anything. Let's see. Joe Biden responded to the new revelation, in a strongly worded statement Friday. Ooh, strongly words. Quote, if these reports are true, then there is truly no bottom to President Trump's willingness to abuse his power and abase our country. This behavior is particularly abhorrent because it exploits the foreign policy of our country and undermines our national security for political purposes. It means that he used the power and resources of the United States to pressure a sovereign nation, a partner that is still under direct assault from Russia, pushing Ukraine to subvert the rule of law in the express hope of extracting a political favor. Okay. Okay. Quote, such clear-cut corruption damages and diminishes our institutions of government by making them tools of a personal political vendetta. At a minimum, Donald Trump should immediately release the transcript of the call in question so that the American people can judge for themselves and direct the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to stop stonewalling and release the whistleblower notification to the Congress, he added. Okay. Trump downplays whistleblowers' claims. Before the Journal's report was published, Trump downplayed the significance of the whistleblower complaint at the center of the latest controversy consuming Washington. During remarks in the Oval Office Friday, Trump claimed the whistleblower is partisan and his conversations with foreign leaders are quote-unquote appropriate. But in a back and forth with reporters, Trump did not deny discussing Biden with Zelensky in the July phone call, a potential subject for the complaint. Quote, it's a partisan whistleblower. They shouldn't even have information. I've had conversations with many leaders. They're always appropriate, Trump said prior to the Journal's report being published, while appearing alongside the Australian Prime Minister, who he was hosting for a state visit. Okay, still gonna tell us what it is that Biden purportedly has to do with this? Okay. Appearing in a rambling interview on CNN on Thursday evening, Giuliani admitted he had discussed Biden with Ukraine's leaders during a visit to the country. Giuliani has long lobbied Ukraine to investigate Biden's call in 2016 to remove the country's top prosecutor, who at one point had been investigating a Ukrainian natural gas company connected to Biden's son, Hunter. Oh, okay. Other Western governments also call... So, Joe Biden is suspected of having used political power to get a political favor?
Yes.
Oh... That should be immediately investigated, and all transcripts should be released to the American public so they can judge for themselves, wouldn't you say, Joe Biden?
It would seem the fair thing to do.
I'm not saying, one wrong turn deserves another kind of thing. I don't even know what is or is not true here because they haven't cited any evidence. They've cited people familiar with the matter. The Wall Street Journal said so, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to tell you this, if there was some corruption thing going on that involved Joe Biden's son, it might be an inconvenient truth that Joe Biden's son's dad, Joe Biden, is running for president at the same time this is going on, but Yeah, I don't know. I need more information. I don't know what the hell this all is. And I can't trust the Wall Street Journal or anybody else at this point to say that something actually happened, so.
Faithless says he admitted doing it. You're talking about Biden making the call. Yeah, and this is where we get into dirty politics, because I think it was Giuliani, because at first he was asked, did you ask them to look into Joe Biden? And he says no, and it's reported that he then turned around and said yes, he did, which isn't exactly what he said.
Pretty close.
And what he said was that he asked him to look into corruption surrounding them. And yeah, it's very similar, but there is a difference to, hey, just go dig up anything you can on this guy versus I'd like you to look into this specific thing that we know happened. Either way, it doesn't look good for anybody involved.
No. So yeah, that's what the latest and greatest in Trump world is. I'll get to the climate strike here at the end. But, there was breaking news as well. I mean, today on CNN, this before the show, there was just breaking news everywhere. Every third story was breaking news. So there was this one. Prince Andrew accuser says she was forced to perform sex acts at 17. Virginia Roberts Guffrey, if I'm saying that correctly, one of several women who accused the late disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein of sex crimes, has revealed new details of her alleged sexual abuse by Britain's Prince Andrew. Guffrey tells NBC's Dateline she was forced to perform sex acts with Andrew when she was 17 years old after the British royal gave her vodka in a London nightclub. Guffrey said the incident took place at the house of Ghislaine Maxwell, a British woman who has been accused of assisting Epstein. Quote, the first time in London, I was so young, Ghislaine woke me up in the morning and said, you are going to meet a prince today, she told the NBC. I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince, she said, adding that Andrew got her vodka that evening as they partied in London's Club Tramp. Club Tramp. That's great. Great name. Guffrey has previously alleged that she was forced to perform sex acts with Andrew and other famous men. All have denied the allegations. Court documents show that Guffrey accused Epstein of keeping her as a teenage sex slave. Epstein, 66, died by suicide. I'm going to insert the air quotes that the article won't. In jail in August, awaiting trial on charges that he abused underage girls. Andrew, the third child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, has repeatedly rejected all accusations leveled against him in connection to the Epstein case. In response to Friday's allegation, Buckingham Palace told CNN it had nothing to add to its previous statement. Quote, it is emphatically denied that the Duke of York had any form of sexual contact or relationship with Virginia Roberts. Any claim to the contrary is false and without foundation. He said, she said, well, I guess we need some documentary evidence, except for the photos of Prince Andrew with Jeffrey Epstein, etc. He's already been convicted of such things. I don't know. How do you prove that? Can you even prove that?
I wonder how long this shit is going to be going on.
Well, the conspiracy theories will go on for years. The legal process, it'll reach a terminus at some point in the near future, probably. Yeah, I don't know. Horrible people doing horrible things. No, I can't say speaking of which, but hey, you know that a bunch of people went on strike today?
Yeah.
A bunch of kids skipped school is what you mean.
Yeah, I got some, I might cross over a little bit into fucketry on this one because there was there's a gold mine of stuff going on Twitter today about this. But we have a running blog series of updates from CNN on the subject, so let's go over a few. Greta Thunberg, quote, why should we study for a future that is being taken away from us? Oh, so deep. Greta Thunberg, am I saying that right? Thunberg?
Sure.
Okay. This is the what, 15-year-old or whatever that's like the darling now of the climate,
Yeah.
whatever, spoke at the climate strike in New York City Friday, arriving on stage at a rally in Battery Park to cheers of Greta, Greta. Thunberg began listing off numbers of participants in the climate strike around the world, stating that at least 250,000 people in New York City joined roughly 4 million others striking worldwide. CNN has not verified these numbers. Quote, "It's just not the young people's house. We all live here. It affects all of us," Thunberg said. "Why should we study for a future that is being taken away from us, that is being stolen for profit? Some people say we should study to become climate scientists or politicians so that we can, in the future, solve the climate crisis. But by then, it will be too late. We need to do this now." Do what now? Become scientists and politicians? Like right now? Like, just poof?
Yes.
Let's see. The next entry. Meet the students who helped 1.1 million others skip school the right way for the climate strike. Skipping school the right way. I'm curious. How do you skip school the right way? New York's 1.1 million students owe a big thanks to Alexandria Villaseñor and Zai Bastida, who were instrumental in making sure they could attend Friday's climate strike. Villaseñor and Bastida were crucial in petitioning the Department of Education to allow students to attend the protest without being penalized for missing class. Well, given that the Department of Education is willing to spend $700,000 on diversity and inclusion initiatives by questionable experts on the subject, I'm not surprised that they'd be willing to just throw away a day or so of education for the sake of marching around and leaving a bunch of trash on the ground and shit in New York. Quote, "We got 15 council members to write a letter to the DOE, and after a lot of pressure, we got amnesty for the 1.1 million students in the public school system." Amnesty.
Like, look how many kids showed up when they didn't have to go to school when they do it.
Yeah, gosh.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Let's see. Aerial photo shows New York streets flooded with protesters. Yeah, it does. See the pictures of what they left behind? All the garbage?
Hey, man, they're there for the environment.
You know, I was just about to say that part was what killed it the most. Like, we're destroying the world, the world, we gotta save it. And then where they did their protest, you would think there would be like teams of people cleaning up and putting it back to where it was and making sure, you know, the environment is in good shape. And they're just like, no, just leave all this trash here. It's too late anyway. That's how much we really care.
Yeah, so again, crossing over a little bit into fucketry, there was a tweet from a blue check mark, never heard of it before, Earther, where the second E is a 3, because I'm assuming someone else already took it, and it says, "This is what democracy looks like," capital letters, hashtags climate strike, and it shows a quick little video of all these marching kids all holding their smartphones and filming themselves. And I said, "This is what fadtivism looks like, climate strike. Filming yourself on a device made of materials that will take thousands of years to decompose, takes the burning of coal to create the electricity to power it, and sweatshop labor to produce it." And what was the other thing I said? Oh yeah, Friday's global climate strikes are absolutely massive. And this little sign they had in front of them says, "There is no planet B." And I said, "Moon base now." And
Look,
another one I
if
said...
you're...
Sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that, and then lastly I said, "Hundreds of thousands of young people skip school to shout at clouds."
If you're a high school age boy and you get a chance to go to one of these climate strikes, do it, because the women that go there are likely to put out and not make you use a condom.
Oh boy.
That's just science.
Illegitimate babies everywhere.
Just go lie to them. They like it.
"The world's coming to an end. We don't have much time. Let's fuck." Oh yeah, and also the Area 51 raid happened today.
Yay.
Yeah. Did you see the video of the guy Naruto running behind the reporter? That was fucking hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah, not much else to say. It's just an excuse for people to go down there and have basically a mini alien convention. And, you know, as long as they don't do anything stupid or get hurt, more power to them. Anything else that comes to mind that I didn't mention, or before we get into MSS news?
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
Oh. Okay. Then, guys, if you have news stories you would like us to attempt to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. I will try to get to as many as I can before I have to take a break to let my voice rest. Because truth be told, this does take quite a toll on me after a while. I do my best. Let's see. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. North Carolina Attorney General praises law to end rape evidence backlog. Oh, okay. Give me a second. North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein says a new law to fund testing for sexual assault kits sitting in law enforcement evidence closets will put rapists in prison and ensure a backlog never happens again. Stein, police, and sexual assault victim advocates held a news conference Thursday at the State Crime Laboratory to praise the measure signed the day before by Governor Roy Cooper. An audit determined there was 15,000 untested kits across the state as of last year. The measure includes $6 million over 2 years to test the remaining kits and requires police and sheriffs to submit future kits for testing within 45 days. Law enforcement also will create local teams that will determine which evidence kits should be prioritized for testing, such as those who have the greatest potential for matches within the national DNA database. Quote, "It will bring justice to victims. It will get dangerous, violent criminals off our streets," Stein said. "Each kit represents a person who experienced an awful trauma and to whom we owe our utmost dedication to try to bring justice. And frankly, the state has not done right by those people until today." I know I'm being a nitpicker. A rape kit is not proof of rape. It's proof of sexual contact. There's still a whole extra level of due process and such that goes through it. That's just one piece of evidence. All the same, that's a good thing. Having evidence of potential crimes not being looked at for years and years and years ain't no good. So, good, but I'm going to be nitpicky.
Right.
I agree. I just have nothing to add.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you'll have something to add to this, because this is more up our alley, I suppose. This one comes from Desert Tramp. Demi Moore says she regrets having threesomes with Ashton Kutcher.
Does she?
I guess so. Demi Moore has revealed in a new memoir that she and ex-husband Ashton Kutcher had 2 threesomes during their marriage, and that he then used the encounters to explain away his later cheating on her, according to a report. Or the fact that he's, like 25 years younger than you are, and...
Mm-hmm.
Moore said she only wanted to please Kutcher by engaging in the 3-way sex, but she now believes that doing so was a mistake. Quote, "I wanted to show him how great and fun I could be." Hello, fellow kids. She writes in the book Inside Out. Really? Can't come up with a better title than that, because I immediately think of the Kevin Kline movie. Moore wrote that in 2010, she saw media reports claiming Kutcher, 41, met a 21-year-old woman while bowling with her daughter, Rumer Willis, and cheated on her in his marital home while Moore was out of town filming a movie. When she confronted him, he brought up their threesome as a defense. Quote, "Because we had brought a third party into our relationship," Ashton said, "that blurred the lines and, to some extent, justified what he'd done," she writes, adding it was to, quote, "deflect blame." Moore also accused the That 70s Show actor, to whom she was married from 2005 to 2013, of cheating on her before their separation in 2011 while at his former co-star Danny Masterson's bachelor party. According to Radar Online, she learned about the alleged cheating from a Google alert. Oh my god, celebrities are just hilarious. Let's see, am I staying or am I going? I don't know. That's not good. Well, I will find out in an hour then, I guess, whether I'm staying or going. Not a good sign. We'll find out. Moving on. So yeah, you regret giving in to your younger husband to look cool. Well, sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, it really does. But do you see? I'm having problems with. I regret that part of it. Does she actually regret the threesome, or that he used it as an excuse? You know what I mean?
Probably both, in the sense that she gave in and provided him some kind of excuse. You know, so, I mean, it's a package deal, maybe.
I get you, but I have trouble with that.
Let's see. This one comes from Mercy of Wits. Is this true? Because if it's 2 days old, I think we would have heard about it from someone else by now. I'll read a little bit of it. This is from something called Trending Politics. It says, breaking, Comey referred for criminal prosecution. Have you heard about this?
I am not.
Okay. On Wednesday, Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Horowitz revealed that he referred fired FBI Director James Comey for criminal prosecution for leaking information. Quote, we are required by the Inspector General Act to send information that we've identified that could plausibly be criminal to the Department of Justice, Horowitz said. The Justice Department ultimately decided not to prosecute Mr. Comey despite the conclusion. Oh. So
no charges have been filed. This is just what was recommended.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's kind of it's a story, non-story, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Not if they're gonna. Let's see. What's that? Is an ad for a TV show. Oh, okay. This one comes from John, or John51868400. I wonder if that's his clone number. How many Johns are there? I'm John.
That's his actual name.
Yeah. And this is from thehill.com. Okay. Authorities say Felipe Vasquez admitted to sex with 13-year-old girl. And the tweet that was attached to this says it shouldn't be called sex, it should just be called rape, because she's 13.
Maybe.
And I don't disagree. Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Felipe Vasquez reportedly told authorities that he, quote, had sex but not really, unquote, with a 13-year-old girl in a 2017 assault, according to a criminal complaint filed in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's kind of like being a little pregnant. I had sex with the minor, but not really. Jesus.
No, I only put in the tip.
Yeah, you know, just a couple of fingers. Good God. Vasquez said he assaulted the girl in his car, which he called sex but not really in the complaint. Vasquez admitted to recognizing the girl from a photograph in the complaint, but he said he did not remember the girl's name. He also reportedly told authorities that he initially refused to communicate with her due to how young she appeared, but you ultimately decided to take her in the back of your car and... Okay. I think you might be going away for a while, Felipe, if you admitted to that. I think you might be. So, goodbye to your career. Bye to... Yeah. Okay.
It's a rather old complaint, isn't it? 97, is that what that said?
No, 2017.
Oh, okay. How did my brain hear 97?
I don't know. Maybe I mumbled. I can't tell you.
That's probably me. You know, we all know it's my brain, so.
Insane in the monkey brain. Insane in the brain. Let's see. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Loud sex mistaken for a fight ends with gunshots and second-degree attempted murder charge.
Well, then.
Hey, on Monday, Baltimore County police officers responded to a possible domestic disturbance at a Days Inn hotel. However, when they arrived, they were informed that what was occurring inside the hotel room was not a fight. It was two women having loud sex. The romantic rendezvous ultimately ended with a security guard being shot. Oh, sorry, shot at, and a second-degree attempted murder charge for Allison Nicole Dowtry, 34, according to charging documents obtained by WMAR. Okay, so what was the chain of events? Around 2 p.m., two clerks at the front desk of the Towson, Maryland Days Inn received a phone call from one of the hotel's rooms. During the call, the workers believed they heard two people fighting in the background, which prompted the on-duty security guard to phone the Baltimore County Police Department. When police arrived, the two women, who had been in the room in question, informed police that they were not fighting, they were having sex. The security guard requested that police remove them and the children who were with them in another room from the hotel. Okay. As Dowtry's girlfriend packed up their things, Dowtry and the security guard began yelling at each other. After the family was escorted to the parking lot, Dowtry's girlfriend informed the officers that she left her cell phone in the room and she was escorted back to the hotel to retrieve it. When the officer and the woman returned, Dowtry was no longer by the vehicle. Okay. And then there's pictures of, oh, good God. Okay. Shortly after, the responding officer reported hearing a gunshot in the hotel lobby. An employee ran from the hotel and informed officers that the security guard was holding down the shooter. Dowtry was arrested at the scene and ultimately charged with attempted second-degree murder, assault, reckless endangerment, destruction of property, and gun charges. After reviewing the hotel's surveillance video, police learned Dowtry re-entered the lobby and struggled with the security guard. Dowtry allegedly pulled out a gun and pointed it at the security guard's head. The guard pushed the gun to the side and moved his head just as Dowtry fired a round, which struck a metal frame nearby. The security guard held the The security guard held the weapon, causing it to jam and preventing Dowtry from firing again as she continued to squeeze the trigger and bit his right arm. The guard was taken to MedStar Good Samaritan Hospital to treat his injured hand. A grandmother picked up the children. According to Dowtry, the firing of the gun was unintentional. She claims that the security guard struck her face, and in retaliation, she swung her bag at him when the gun fell out and discharged the single round. Though the security footage says completely otherwise. Quote, "If I intended to ever use the gun, I would never have missed the target," Dowtry said in her defense to police.
Ouch.
Okay.
That's probably not the best defense.
No, thank you, Cryptic. Do cannibals eat raw men? Nah, they cook them first.
Ramen.
Yes, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Just in case you want to see the mugshot of the shooter in question. And then also extend your mind to think of the events that led up to this shooting. By all means, welcome to your nightmares.
They must have been scissoring hard, man.
Oh, boy. What is this? Oh,
some dull scissors right there.
This one comes from Fairly Rebecca. This is Breitbart.com. Climate strike activist says climate change activism and socialism are inseparable. Okay. Is it just some guy, or is it like a leader of stuff? Thousands of activists participated in the Greta Thunberg-inspired global climate strike in Washington, D.C. and around the world on Friday. Participants in D.C. were heard shouting, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, climate change has got to go." And "Don't eat cows, eat the rich." One activist... Oh, okay. One activist told Breitbart News that he was there to not only fight against climate change, but to actively, quote, fight for socialism, calling the two inseparable. "We're fighting for the broadest possible mobilization of youth, students, and workers to fight against climate change and to fight for socialism, which in our view is inseparable," the man said. So he's not some leader. He's just a guy. Okay.
He's a great source of information.
Yeah, that's a real good source in polling there, Breitbart. I'm not going to deny there's probably such sentiments among a lot of people there, but he doesn't represent anybody or anything. So, ta-da! Okay, this story is going around quite a bit right now, and there's actually video of it I already retweeted out. But angry wife Illinois, is that angry Illinoisian's wife or just a stunning coincidence?
That'd be a weird coincidence, man.
SUV drives through Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. One in custody, minor injuries reported. Schaumburg, Illinois. One person is in custody after an SUV crashed into the Sears at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg and then drove through the shopping center Friday afternoon. Schaumburg police said they began receiving 911 calls about the incident around 2:21 p.m. Police said the SUV entered the mall by Sears and Rainforest Cafe, then drove through the common area and came to a final stop in the mall's center court. Witnesses said the SUV crashed into a pillar. And yeah, there's cell phone footage of the car like getting into the main concourse and crashing around and shit. 3 people were transported with very minor injuries. No major injuries were reported, thank goodness. Though witnesses reported at one point the SUV almost struck a group of children. Okay. Police said no one was injured by being struck by the car itself. A 22-year-old man was taken into custody. He was initially detained by mall patrons, including 2 off-duty police officers, before officers could arrive at the scene. The man was taken into custody without further incident. Police said he refused medical transport. Let's see. The man is currently being questioned at Schaumburg Police Headquarters. Schaumburg police said there's no indication that this was a terrorist attack. Police said they have not had prior contact with the suspected driver. Okay, so maybe he was drunk, or on drugs, or stupid. Who knows?
Maybe he was actually a woman.
What would that have to do with anything?
Women are bad drivers. Didn't you know that?
Tell me more, monkey.
Yeah, they're horrible drivers, man. That's science.
I'm gonna just be over here.
Angry Illinoisian says, I like the way Scribe says Schaumburg. Schaumburg? Or is it just like Schaumburg? Schaumburg? I don't know. What is it? It wasn't a Chicago accent or an Illinois accent sound like. I don't even know. Midwest accent?
Yeah. Unless you get to like the Chicago area where they sound like they're trying to be from Brooklyn a little bit.
Schaumburg. It's in Schaumburg. Schaumburg? All right. Moving on. Okay. This one comes from Sean Uli. And I can't read this because it's Washington Post. But I'll read the caption. Or do you have a subscription?
I do.
Okay, can you scroll down to Sean Uli?
I was just looking at what Sean said in chat there. Women drivers, no survivors.
Yeah, I see that. Different Sean, but all the same.
Yeah. I'm scrolling looking for Sean in chat here. Oh, here we go. The Merriam-Webster?
Yes.
All right. Merriam-Webster adds non-binary pronoun they to dictionary.
Because they wasn't already in the dictionary?
Merriam-Webster added a new definition of the word they to its dictionary, declaring the pronoun may be used to refer to a single person whose gender identity is non-binary. They is a liberating pronoun for many non-binary. I can't read this without laughing. Non-binary is not real. For many non-binary individuals who identify as a gender other than male or female.
There is no gender other than male. Who's running Merriam-Webster? Accuracy and I mean, okay, it is used in that fashion. It's true, but it is more of a, I don't know. It's more like slang than being an accurate description of reality.
Well, you can use it like if you don't know if you're talking about a man or woman.
Right. Like an unidentified individual, they did X, Y, and Z. Sure, if you're unaware of the person's gender, but not because you aren't either gender.
No. This seriously, this stupid shit is reminding me. I told you guys before. One of the first online arguments I ever had was an asshole who told me he wasn't human. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
I'm not human. Like, I think you might be.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like, all
right. Well, good job, Merriam-Webster, perpetuating bad information. It's an odd thing to have to say. Let's see.
Only our language, man. It's not like it's important.
I know. I mean, this one comes from Princess Unicorn Nipples. Princess Unicorn Nipples have Horus. Excuse me. Florida mom left child in car while working at strip club.
Mom of the year.
Florida mom, by the way. Police say they found a 3-year-old girl wandering in a parking lot while her mother worked inside a South Florida strip club.
Did you say 3?
3-year-old girl wandering in a parking lot.
Holy shit.
Lauderhill Police Lieutenant Michael Santiago says in a news release that someone called 911 early Tuesday after seeing a child roaming around. Time was it to say? Santiago said the child led officers to a vehicle that wasn't running and had the back window cracked for ventilation. Police say about 30 minutes later, 23-year-old Manachika Daniels, saying that right, walked up and identified herself as the child's mother. They determined that Daniels left the girl about 11 p.m. Monday while she worked at a Vegas cabaret. She's charged with child neglect and was ordered held without bond. The child was taken into protective custody. Jail records don't list a lawyer for Daniels. And that 3-year-old was able to work their way out of the car and wander around in the parking lot of a strip club sometime in the middle of the night. Okay.
It's asinine.
Yeah, I don't think that lady should be in charge of a child. Thank you, Point Curation. My bad, ambiguous gender and or number. That's true. Yeah, they, if it's like, a group of people went and did a thing, they did the XYZ. That's true. And your super chat prior, unambiguous gender and or number. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Mother of the Year right there. Hopefully she gets a year in prison, at least. Let's see. This one comes from Ashley May. I am assuming this is satire. Genesius Times? The most reliable source of fake news on the planet. Okay. Beto's security detail to use only Nerf guns from now on.
That would be funny.
Call him what you may, a joke, a puppet, or vanilla Obama, but you can't call Robert Beto O'Rourke a hypocrite. That's because after the presidential candidate said, quote, hell yes, we're going to take your guns, unquote, threatening to violate Americans' Second Amendment right, he instructed his security detail to only use Nerf guns to protect him. Quote, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, which is different because that's usually where my foot is. O'Rourke said in a press conference, "You shouldn't have guns, and so shouldn't my security detail." And then there's pictures of badly photoshopped men with badly photoshopped Nerf guns in their hands around Beto. Man, Nerf guns have gotten complex. Holy cow!
Oh, they're awesome, man.
God, they're practically artillery of their own right now.
Well, the belt-fed one has been around for a long time. That thing's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to fire that once. It's cool.
I saw a go ahead.
Okay.
I saw a YouTube video a while back about this dude ranting about that, but he was pissed off about Nerf guns and how realistic they're becoming and comparing them, like actually showing them side by side with real guns, because his thought is the Nerf guns are being made to train kids to already be in that military mindset by the time they grow up, so they already know how to use weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And it would, I mean, he had a point, like he was pointing out guns and just like the way this is assembled, the way you reload it, you put the ammo in and everything. He was like, that's this gun in the military right now that they're using at this moment. Like, and this is exactly how it's assembled, how you reload it, how you put the, he was like, that's what they're fucking doing. And I'm like, maybe. I don't know.
The last time I saw, actually, I don't think it's the first time, but the last time I saw one of those belt-fed Nerf things, there's a video out there of this guy. He put a video together of all these clips of instances where he attacks his wife with Nerf guns when she's not expecting it. And she's a total MILF, you know? And so there's this one part where she's like outside on the patio doing yoga. And he just takes aim with this gun and shoots her right in the crotch.
Oof.
And she like, you son of, she's like chasing after him, yelling. It's hilarious. Let's see. What is this? Mr. Nanopoly sends us this one. Let's see. We'll do a couple more here. Pakistani activist who accused army of sexually harassing women flees to U.S. after months in hiding. Well, if she accused the Pakistani army of sexually harassing women, she was probably not in safe territory. A Pakistani human rights activist who says the country's military has sexually harassed dozens of women has resurfaced in America after spending months on the run. Gulali Ismail, despite being placed under a travel ban by Pakistani officials, somehow managed to make it to New York, where she is now living with her sister and pursuing political asylum. She had been arrested in Pakistan multiple times over the past year. Quote, if I had ended up in prison and tortured for many years, my voice would have been silenced, she told the AFP this week. Ismail, 32, landed on the radar of Pakistani authorities after speaking out about alleged abuses committed by the country's military. She says an army operation to remove militants near Pakistani's border with Afghanistan has resulted in the sexual harassment of women. Quote, dozens of women had come to tell us that the incident of sexual harassment was not unique. It had been happening for years. When a man stands up, he is mostly against the state oppression, she added. But when a woman stands up, she is fighting oppression on many levels, fighting cultural norms, fighting the patriarchy and the state oppression, unquote. Well, if we're talking about Pakistan, I can believe it. We're not exactly talking about a forward-thinking power in Pakistan. Yeah, I bet you she has a decent shot at political asylum, all things.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just wonder, I mean, in Pakistan, are they not allowed to talk about being sexually assaulted?
Probably, but that probably doesn't stop people from wanting to retaliate and silence her. Because, you know, Pakistan's not exactly an uncorrupt country when it comes to things like that. So, like I say, she's probably got a fair shot at asylum. And like I say, given Pakistan's culture and government and corruption, I don't immediately disbelieve her. What else? Let's see. We're almost to yesterday now.
Is it wrong to say I'd be more shocked if there wasn't that kind of behavior in Pakistan?
Yeah, it's like Pakistan's a paradise. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this. We'll do this one last here. Yeah, now we're back to yesterday, but this is a story I didn't read, and the one right after it is Froggy telling us about the climate confessions. Did everybody go and make their climate confessions yesterday?
I forgot to, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, the post is still there if you want to go do it. This one comes from Earl Walton. Let's see. Bring on the farts. Gujarat to hunt for India's best fartists in first ever farting competition.
Why?
Okay, who's Gujarat? I don't even know. We've heard of an all-you-can-eat competition eating. Okay, but there's a new kid on the block. Gujarat's and India's first farting competition is less than a week away. It's due to take place in Surat, Gujarat. Oh, Gujarat is a place, not a person. Okay. I don't know. On September 22nd, 2019. So Sunday. Organized by singer Yatin Sangoi and partner Mool Sangvi, the competition aims to make farting an open secret.
Why?
Quote, millennials frown when someone farts. The talent of farting is being lost. Is this real?
Talent?
Okay, well, there's a tweet that shows a flyer type thing that looks it looks like a Monopoly card. But, okay. The idea stemmed, according to Sangoi, from a smelly incident while he was watching a movie with his family. One of his relatives remarked that if there was a farting competition, Sangoi would have won it. Anyone else might have dismissed the joke and moved on, but Sangoi took it to heart. He formulated a business pitch with it, and though people made fun of him, he let them have it. Quote, I decided to go ahead with the event anyhow, even if there were 10 participants. The whole idea was to have some fun in times like the present one, where business is slow, but the response has been encouraging. To make it hipper, not that the fest would need any help in that regard. What?
Making it hipper?
The organizers will hold it in, no pun intended, a disco. The festival has won a critical acclaim with sponsors pouring in. The top 3 winners win cash rewards of 15,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and 5,000 rupees. And trophies. Who knew you could get accepted for farting, let alone be rewarded for it? The competition's winner will be decided on the basis of who farts the loudest, longest, and if they are musical. The king or queen of farts will be crowned the Padshah. And here's the translation of the flyer. Or maybe these are the rules, and hard to tell. Okay. Loud sonic boom farts do not stink. There is a reasonable amount of stink when the fart is squeaky and forced. Unbearable attack of stink forces when the fart hisses. The unheard fart is a killer.
This is why we do this show, folks.
That is a competition I would not ever want to attend. Nor, if I knew that you were the winner of such, would I want to be in a room with you.
I wouldn't want to know you were.
Ugh. I won the fart competition last year. You want to see my winning entry? No. Too bad.
Welcome to the annual dropping ass competition. Let's do it.
Now, what's going to be really terrible is after the first preliminary round goes, and then somebody lights a match and everybody dies.
I wonder what the refreshment room looks like for all the people competing. It's just fucking
it's curry and curry,
beans.
Yeah, beans and curry everywhere. Well, guys, with that, we're going to stop, maybe fortunately, with the news. Thank you so much for all of your contributions, even if they are about fart competitions. That works too. We're going to move on to YouTube time. So I'll go first. I found a new video on white privilege, but it's a brief TEDx talk by a teenager, and I'm usually a little reticent to do videos from talks by teenagers or really young people because it's like, well, they're just, they're not an expert on anything or whatever else. But the way he was putting out his claims, I thought to myself, this guy's growing up in this, this ideology, rather than being like an adult who's sort of like backwards accepting it. So I might do it just to see, okay, how is someone who's like been raised on this interpreting or preaching the good word, so to speak. So I'm looking at that. And I know I've mentioned several different videos I've been looking at in the last week, but it's one of those things where it's like, I get a few minutes into it, it's just kind of like, eh. Although today, what was interesting is that Sinatra Says put out a video about how California is doing away with suspensions because suspensions inordinately affect people of color or students of color or whatever.
Yes.
And in the course of him doing that video, he talked about the school-to-prison pipeline and a whole bunch of other things. And I was like, hey, I did a video on that. And I went back and found it, and I watched it again. And lo and behold, nothing has really changed in the claims to back up their arguments since 2017, which is when I did that video. So I posted it as a response to his, and I was just like, some things apparently just literally never change, no matter how much time goes by. They were using some of the same claims and similar like statistics and things, and yeah. So there was that. Other than that, I don't have anything else. So Satsu, what do you got?
Well, as some of you may know, I did a live stream making a bunch of burritos. Well, I didn't really make that much during that live stream or whatever, but we did that. But I decided to do a video because I still had a bunch of leftover stuff to make it. We did a video, and it's kind of a collab video because both me and Squishy were in it. I made the food and she like wrapped it or whatever. And there's a Squeedus cameo because, you know, Squishy's weird. So if you guys want to check that out, that video's up. It's basically a food prep video, which I didn't initially think about until I uploaded it. I'm like, this is essentially food prep. We ended up making about 50 of them, and we're still eating them to this day. So it's a nice, inexpensive way to have an alternative to ramen. You know, if the struggle is real and you want to have a lot of food in bulk that you can make and freeze and have for extended period of time, I recommend checking it out. And it's also fun to do, just, you know, as a general thing. So outside of that, we got a stream tonight. Borderlands, probably going to be making a serious push through the story, try to make some progress there, and I think that's it for me.
All right, Monkey, what do you got?
Well, I will be streaming with Satsu later tonight, and I did a monkey in the morning. That's pretty much my day.
Okay.
Although, you know, for YouTube time, this does fit. I did finally go and watch that Down the Rabbit Hole on Wings of Redemption.
Yeah, wasn't that interesting?
That was one. It was really good, really, really well done. But it was draining by the end of it.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. He did about as extensive and complete a recitation of this guy's YouTube career history and his personal history.
And his Twitch.
Yes, that too.
Because he's moved on to Twitch since YouTube. Guys, I don't want to give it away. If you've seen the Medicare video, you pretty much know a lot of it anyway. But he goes painstakingly through it. And not in a way that's like fluff. It's all important to the story. But man, it was I was drained by the end of it. I felt both like I wanted to punch that dude and hug him. Wings, not the guy who makes those videos. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just want to hug the bastard and slap the shit out of him because all of his problems are of his own making.
Yep.
Every goddamn one. I was talking with Polly last night because he's the one that brought it back up to me. Oh yeah, Scribe said I should watch that. And so on the recommendation of my two scribes.
Excuse me?
Shh, just let it happen.
No.
What?
No.
I've called him you before. Hang on. Let me finish. I've called him you before because there's times where he'll say something like, "Oh my God, you just pulled a Scribe moment on me." You're different enough that you're different people, but I think he watches you too much. You've influenced the boy, and you need to stop it. But no,
wait. No, we're not done with this. We're not done.
Yeah,
with
we
this.
are.
I am the only Scribe you get, Monkey.
No, I get two Scribe.
You don't get two of me. There's only
I'm still
one.
looking for my second Satsu.
Oh. And
he's
what criteria are you going to have for that one?
Good luck with that. I was about to say, yeah.
I need a black dude who married a racially ambiguous woman. And you know how hard that is to find?
I have no idea. Why don't you tell me?
It's really hard. That's it. But anyway, back to Wings. He told me, you know, he like the match that he went through with Syndicate, how he goes through this match. Even if you don't know video games, it's explained enough to where you see it all happen. But what's more important there is what happens to it in Wings' brain, man. And Polly goes, you know, watching this, it's mostly a cautionary tale. And that's how you should watch it, because it really is holy fuck.
Well, a lot of these, I mean, if you look at Mr. Medicare's series on that guy with the glasses, if you look at the Dark Side Phil documentary that Down the Rabbit Hole did, or the Spoony One documentary that Down the Rabbit Hole did, all of these internet personality things that end up on one of these deals are effectively cautionary tales of one kind or another. Someone who, burned brightly in the beginning and then petered out, or got too full of themselves, or had so many other problems that even the success that they got with YouTube didn't help them, like with the Wings of Redemption. But the Wings of Redemption one, that is, I mean, both in length and in breadth of detail, is a full-on, feature-length documentary. It's really, really interesting.
And Wings is a almost different case in there, because you're right about the cautionary tales. This guy had so many chances.
Mm-hmm. Way too many. And the amount of money, time, dedication, loyalty, and help he got from the people around him. I mean, that one story, which I saw in the Medicare video before, where the guy, his co-host guy, was going to have him stay over at his house to try to change his diet, get exercise, and everything else. And a week or so before he showed up, the guy realized that his shower was too small to accommodate Wings' body. And so he spent $5,000 to build an entirely new, larger shower and tub and everything so that he'd be able to shower while he was there. And I was thinking to myself, I realize these guys at the time were probably making buco bucks because this is before the adpocalypse and everything else. But all the same, remodeling your house, spending thousands of dollars to accommodate a guy so that he can live there to get healthier. I thought, the amount of dedication and help and loyalty this guy was getting for his problems, even though he was treating everybody like absolute ass, is incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. And for no personal gain. They weren't getting anything out of it except trying to help out his friend. Yeah, just trying to help the guy out. It's just like, it was amazing. But then he keeps destroying everything around him, all his relationships, everything else, and especially his audience. I mean, good God.
Yeah, so I cannot recommend this enough. Especially if you enjoy documentaries type, because it is this dude. What is it Polly said last night? There are people out there who make documentaries and they, have to have millions of dollars to do it. He said they should feel like shit watching this compared to what they put out for millions. And he's not wrong. Yeah. This was a really well produced video. So, and
there's almost no way that the guy who made this that movie is monetized. No way whatsoever. Of course not. No. Yeah, that guy's not making anything. So I really hope, I haven't looked into it, but I hope that guy's got a Patreon, because the amount of work and research effort that guy puts into his videos. Just about every one of his Down the Rabbit Hole deals is interesting as hell. Whether he's focusing on a specific individual or an event or something. Really good. I'd put some of them up. I mean, insofar as internet personality stuff goes, even though he did one on the Rajneesh stuff in Oregon or whatever that Netflix had a documentary of. Mm-hmm. The Netflix documentary and such went into was it Wild Wild Country or whatever. It went into much more detail and had more access to footage and such. But I mean, this guy's like a mini little documentary channel of internet insanity after a fashion, and it's great. It's really interesting. Thank you, Orpheus Talos. Monkey, is Scribe discount Polly?
No, Scribe ain't no discount. He ain't no cheap hoe. What you talking about?
Thank you for the $2.
Notice I said Polly is my Scribe, not Scribe is my Polly.
That is true.
I'm not sure if that makes me feel better.
Well, it might not make you feel better, but it does mean something.
All right. Did you have anything else,
my friend?
Did you have anything else, Monkey?
No. Like I said, that I just thought of that, and I wanted to recommend it because it is really good.
Let's see. We should we should make that a mini section at some point in the show. Like if there's a channel or a creator we want to plug that's off the beaten path from the usual stuff. Because we talk about at the beginning of the show, share your if you like a content creator, share their stuff, etc. Given the trend of things, I think maybe we should when it comes up, we'll talk. Maybe make that part of internet fucketry or something. Speaking of which, let's go on to internet fucketry. I didn't forget this time, see? I'm smart. Let's see, I've got a little bit that I haven't already talked about, I think. Oh yeah, so not really fucketry in the sense it's a bad thing, but Chat Mort created a little Scribe fan art for me. It's not chibi in that sense, although some people described it as such. It's just a stylized little Scribe. And I was thinking, just because I do that from time to time, if I happen to receive a sizable number of fan arts of the Avatar or something like it, maybe I'll make a theme one night out of it in a slideshow and give everybody a little shout out as a result. So on the off chance you have some artistic ability, yay, nay, or otherwise. And I know I still have the one from, I got the one from Rich at Art. And actually the avatar that I have is itself fan art. And it is a credit to Night of Charlemagne who made that. Just how many people think that that is the actual painting that they've seen on book covers and other things. And I never stopped being amazed by that. But yeah, let's see. Oh, thank you, Ebony Williams. You are no one's discount. Here's some goldfish money, sexy. Oh, Ebony. Oh. I had goldfish yesterday. Now I'll get some tomorrow. Oh, goldfish. Little orange nuggets of deliciousness. Sounded bad. But anyway, yeah, so if you happen to have the inspiration or talent to give it a shot, I will find a way to showcase it. Let's see. So the cover art and design of the J.J. Abrams Spider-Man came out today, or at least I saw it for the first time today, from a post made by the other Scribe. Anyway,
I'm offended by that.
Do I sound a little melodramatic about it?
A little touchy.
Yeah, you sound a little bit miffed, mate.
Yeah, I might be making that up. Anyway, yeah, so the new, or I should say, Abrams-verse Spider-Man is the most ridiculous-looking thing. Now, I compared it in a tweet to when Homer Simpson was put in charge of designing a car. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like some child was put in charge of designing Spider-Man, and this is the result. You have a half-mask, man-bun, sleeveless, armored thing with rinky-dink spider arms on the back, giant clockwork gears on his back and ass for some reason. Oh, and also boots with giant gears on them like saw blades with silver feet. It is a techno upside down spider with a he's got a collar and metal shoulder. It is the most. If this was satire or something, like if this was some multiverse what if Spider-Man was an absolute doofus, okay, maybe. But apparently this is supposed to be an actual in-universe Spider-Man comic, I guess, and it... Man bun. That's all I gotta say, man bun. Giving Peter Parker, Spider-Man, a man bun. Giving him a half mask so that the top of his head is showing, like, Gambit or something.
You know what I thought when I first saw it?
What's that?
Because I didn't look at it real close.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was some weird take on... Because they've had Spider-Man and Doc Ock mixed before.
Yes, that's true.
That's what I thought it was. And then I looked closer. I'm like, oh, that's gay. That's like really gay.
Yeah, there's another hero called the Steel Spider that who had kind of a Dr. Octopus thing. And he was sort of a non-super-powered Joe Schmo who ended up with this gear. And he'd occasionally do superhero stuff with Spider-Man. That's kind of what I thought. But I also thought of the Doc Ock thing. Or the Tony Stark spider armor.
Yeah, no, the Iron Spider outfit.
Yeah, but it looks like a Rector set arms. It doesn't look like... Yeah, it looks like something... I mean, even Peter Parker, at this point in his career, would have come up with something far more streamlined than... Anyway. Stupid looking. Thank you, Jared Hart Norris. Scribe, get a Streamlabs so I don't have to pay YouTube more than you deserve to keep. Also, it's payday, not much, but please take this. Well, hey, I much or otherwise, even if you don't, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. As far as the Streamlabs thing, again, the unfortunate thing is that so far as I've been able to find out, the bank that I work with, the way Streamlabs will work with some banks versus others, it's not a sure thing, is that let's say you gave me a $10 donation on Streamlabs. On your credit card bill, what would appear for that charge is my address and my real name. Because that would have to be attached to the Streamlabs thing and the bank account through the bank. I've been advised by other people, oh, you should start a business account and an LLC and this, that, and the other thing. I haven't gone to that extent in setting up my YouTube thing because I still, for whatever reason, I guess is stupid, try to consider this more of a hobby than a job because I have an actual job most of the time. Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Be like LL Cool J. It's your hobby and job.
Sure. I appreciate the generosity. As far as the YouTube thing, I've said this before too, and I still believe it. The fact that all of us here, are able to do this free, we have this platform, we have this infrastructure. I mean, whatever else you might say about YouTube, and there's a lot to say, don't get me wrong, fact remains is that we are speaking to you through a technology that is just open to us free of charge. So the idea that there's a certain level of payback / rent I am paying effectively for the ability to use this stuff, to do what I do, I don't mind that in principle. So that's that. I know it doesn't necessarily make sense, and if I had a Streamlabs that worked, obviously I would still do this regardless, but that's how I look at it. That's how I try to rationalize it. What else was fuckatry? Sorry, it took too long. Talked about the climate strike. Chris, so I'll end with this. Chris Saliza put out this tweet today. Now, he was talking in regards to, so this was the tweet he was responding to. Jack Kingston, remind me who that is. He is a conservative activist. He tweeted out, quote, whistleblower is likely disgruntled Obama deep stater on his way out the door. President Trump, like all presidents, can declassify anything he wants to. This is back when I guess the whistleblower theory was he said something classified over the phone. I guess it was still evolving at that point. Anyway, to this claim, Chris Saliza said this. Zero proof for this claim. None. Now, I and several others responded to this in like fashion, but I went a little further, so I'm going to read my little tirade briefly. This is my response. Proof? Proof? How many breathless, knee-jerk, this could be the smoking gun headlines have you personally published, Chris Saliza? How unquestioning has your own outlet been to parrot New York Times and BuzzFeed exposés without a hint of sought corroboration, Chris? It is so very welcome to see a healthy amount of journalistic skepticism over a claim that would tend to go against your preferred narrative of reality, yet anything that feeds into your lust of a Trump gotcha is rebroadcast without so much as a pregnant pause. I wish journalistic outlets of all such storied institutions would learn the simple lesson that I did the second time I retweeted the advent of Rue McClanahan's death 6 years after the actual event. Look before you tweet. I could not, I was absolutely exasperated when I saw that tweet from Chris. I mean, I see a lot of things from Chris Saliza that makes me exasperated, but that one in particular, short and sweet as it was, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Proof? You? Anyway, William Savage, thank you. Here's to cover the Google scale tipping. New Peter Parker has a makeup channel, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, God, don't take off the mask. Okay, I took way too long with that, guys. Sorry about that. Satsu, what kind of fuckatry you got?
Is Satsu here?
Satsu.
Oh, he's muted.
Satsu. Oh, maybe he's taking care of baby. Okay, Monkey, what do you got?
I'm glad you took a while. I don't think I have too much. On finding out Susan Wojcicki apologized again. I want to start getting paid by how many times she screws up and apologizes publicly. I think I will make a shit ton more money than I do off ads. There's a great thread about that. Where's it at? Hang on, dude. This one. The whole thing where they're what is it? Gifted and talented programs are modern day eugenics, is what they're calling it.
Oh, that is so weird because one of the videos I was looking at was talking about how gifted and talented programs in schools are segregationist.
Well, yeah, it's that same basic thing. I think it's all coming from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
It's from what is it, New York University?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to throw the thread into chat there. And what this guy's point is that they talk about how these classes they keep minorities out, and it's basically white supremacy. And he goes, these classes are overwhelmingly Asian. It's true, they are. They're overwhelmingly Asian, but Asians don't count as minority, even though Asians, by the way, are one of the smallest minorities in the country. They are. They're smaller than blacks. They're smaller than Latinos. They're way smaller than women, who, by the way, not a minority. But when it comes to something like this, oh wait, no, they're not a minority anymore because they're smart.
Real quick, thank you, Shrouded Angel. No comment, but appreciate it. Thank you so much.
But yeah, so this goes through and it gives some background on the Asian version of this. How this would affect Asian kids. A bigger minority than the other groups that are being talked about in this nonsense. Oh, and then this one, I have to bring this one up. I'm going to throw this link into chat too, because you have to watch the video to see everything that's going on. Somebody posted pictures all around the town, and all it says, it's just text. It says, what is it? Islam
right about women.
Is right about women. And holy fuck, people lost their shit because they don't know how to take that.
Oh, dude, the confusion. Like, people were like, oh, I don't really know what that's supposed to mean or what their objective was, but I just don't like it.
It's wrong. Well, what's wrong about it? Which part?
Which one?
But the video is great, and at the end it ends with police are investigating the matter because they're not sure if putting up these signs is illegal or not. and again, one of the rare times I'm going to read my actual statement because I thought I was so clever. So there was an accident at the intersection of Islam and feminism. Police are investigating.
Hi-oh. Thank you, Snubberth. Work at a uni. Asians and Middle Eastern dominate the numbers. They can nearly outnumber whites. With that, that's how common they are here.
Yeah, but not in society. Two more quickly. Candace Owens today. It's another one where you got to watch the video. She was up at the up on the hill. They were talking about white supremacy again. Because that's what they do now. And this little white lady basically accused her of laughing at the Christchurch shooting because she used the phrase, I think it's hilarious, not about the Christchurch shooting, but about what was going on in this whole hearing and stuff.
Mm.
And after getting just berated, apparently, I haven't got to see the whole thing. I've only seen this part. But the Republicans who were left, they're like, I'm going to let Candace speak for my whole 5 minutes. And Jordan, I forget his first name, but Representative Jordan, he goes, wait a second, can I have just a moment of that? He explains, like, look, you've been pretty much attacked here. There's 3 people in the witness area with you, and they pretty much just attacked you this whole time. And we want to give you a chance to respond. And Candace, look, guys, I'm not a fan of Candace Owens, but she lit these fuckers up.
Oh, man, that response was like, holy shit. Okay.
Oh, it's beautiful. And she calls them out for the Democrats' witnesses all being white chicks. And she goes, "You want to know my qualification for talking about black experience in America? I've been black in America my whole life." Like, but at the very, very end of this little clip, the camera is scrolling, and you see Jordan's face for just half a second, and oh my God, he just looks so happy. That's another one I'll throw in the chat for you guys. Oh, she was on fire on that one. Good for her too.
Dude, I was in here testifying.
It was so beautiful. And finally, guys, there's a vagina museum. That's all.
Not surprised. Satsu, did you have any?
I did want to talk about the Candace Owens thing because she did mention some stuff that was very important. Because, the biggest thing right now is the fact that, everybody's saying white nationalism is the biggest threat that's facing America, and white supremacists are the biggest threat to them. They're the biggest terrorist in America, and we need to do something about it. One of the misconceptions that I've been hearing about that is because people seem to think that this is a fact, black people should be the most concerned. Because, white nationalists, they hate black people, right? But I'm like, every time we see a white nationalist shoot up someplace, most of the victims are white. Every time we see white nationalists shoot up someplace, most of the time it's in a white neighborhood. I'm like, 90% of the time, the victims of white nationalist terrorism are other white people. You rarely, very, very rarely see black people as a direct target to this shit. And what the conversation was at the time is black people as a community have a whole bunch of fucking issues that they have to worry about when it comes like absent fathers, all kinds of shit, real problems that we deal with every day. And Candace Owens was pointing out white nationalism is not at the top of my list. Nowhere near it. That is not like a main concern for us. And they're trying to tell her, these three white women are trying to tell her it should be. Like this, we know what your problems is. Obviously, we're three white female Democrats. Of course, we know way better than you do. And another one of the points that she brought up is she was like, Democrats only talk about black people and only care about black people when it's election time. Otherwise, you don't hear shit from them.
Yeah, Candace specifically, she said, if I had to list where I would put white supremacy as an issue, it wouldn't be in my top 100. Like, damn.
Real quick, thank you, Point Curation. Has Trudeau gone from king of feminism to Kang? Well, if he has, it's only skin deep. And thank you, Cryptic. Knee grows, be a he grow, being a G grow. LOL. I think I got half of that. Oh, go ahead, Satsu.
Yeah, so that was the Candace Owens thing I wanted to talk about. After the climate change thing, the kids skipping school or whatever, I asked somebody if there was a photo available of the state of the park after everybody left. And there is no direct, I mean, like, I don't really know. I've never been to this park before, so I don't know exactly how it looks, but it says, look at the mess today climate protesters left behind at the beautiful Hyde Park. And it is, dude, like, it literally looks like a fucking dumpster blew up over here.
Mm-hmm.
It is trash and garbage everywhere. Mind you, back to the point that I constantly make about how the most racist people I know are anti-racist. The most fucking sexist people I know are anti-sexist. Like, how are you? And the thing that makes this such a fucking fail for me, like a massive, just like, why would you shoot yourself in the foot like this? Because do you know how huge of a statement it would have been to talk about, or to have the media talk about their commitment behind what they stand for if they would have cleaned this bitch spotless when they left? Think about like the message that would have sent to everybody who was watching this event, everybody who televised it and who was talking about it. If you were serious about this, if they cleaned this place up and no cleaning crew had to come and clean up after them, what that would have said about their dedication. It would have been a huge win for them. But no, because they're so full of shit, and this was just a day for them to skip school, protesting, protecting the environment, they completely destroyed a fucking park. Awesome. Fucking idiots, man.
But they care.
That was such a, and not that I'm rooting for them or anything, but I'm just like, out of all the missed opportunities that I could think of, that is probably the biggest. Because
real quick, thank you, Devil Fruit Zero. Just came in. I figured your theme was worth monetary compensation. Mega Man was my favorite too. Yeah, I liked. I think Mega Man 2 was probably my favorite of the. And I only ever owned the NES for Nintendo stuff. I never had a Super Nintendo or anything. So, yeah, Mega Man 2. I like Mega Man 3 okay, but Mega Man 2 was probably my favorite. Oh, now I get to find out if I'm staying or I'm. And it's just sorry, Satsu.
Oh, no problem. Can I continue? Or should I continue?
Well, yeah, just make it brief if you can.
Oh well, I think that's it. That just ended there. Oh wait, actually, this is one I did want to talk about because this one is relatively relevant. So J. Scott Campbell, they're an artist or whatever. I don't know. Do you guys know who that is?
No. Sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
It looks like they draw a lot of Marvel stuff. Somebody commented on their picture of all the Marvel people. It said, all the men are properly proportioned and the women have no organs. Okay, J. Scott Campbell. And then somebody responded, and he's confused as to why we think men shouldn't draw, right? And his response was, when the person ripping your art on Twitter has your art as their avatar, without realizing because they did. They changed it, by the way, after he said that.
Yeah, of course.
And somebody got all pissed off, and they said, there's a difference in stylization and correct anatomy, Mr. J. Scott Campbell. And by the way, you draw women. The way you draw women leads me to believe you've never seen a woman before, because that's a popular one.
Oh yeah.
And I said, you fucking pretentious assholes sure love to run your mouths and tell successful people how they should do their jobs. And she said, I say this because I am a girl and an artist. Anatomy is especially important in women because it's more complex. Bodies that look like that aren't even naturally achievable. Men have unreasonably high expectations. And I'm like, you're talking about the same picture where the men literally look like they were sculpted by gods. Like their abs are so finely chiseled that their clothes, like the clothes that they're wearing, is like creased in between them. But that's legitimate. And I'm sure, women seeing that, on men makes them think that all men should look that way. And obviously that's different because she said the difference is that women are viewed as sexual objects. And don't even try to say that men are sexualized too, because if you look at the majority who have a problem with it, it's women, because 9 times out of 10, it's happening to them. So I just shared with her an article from Polygon of all places that reads, Twitter is discovering Nightwing's butt this week, and it is glorious. The brief history of Dick Grayson's notable backside. And I just left the conversation at that. Like, really, bitch? Really? Okay. But yeah, that's
did she have any of her art on display?
Let me see here. I would imagine so, because most of their Twitters are full of that shit. Let's see here.
I'd be interested to see the proportions and such that she drew.
Well, that was another point that I brought up. Like, a lot of the sexy women that you see online, a good portion of them are drawn by women.
Oh yeah.
But you're like, men shouldn't draw. Yeah, it looks like she has some of her art. I think her avatar and her actual picture up there might be art that she drew, but I don't know for sure. So don't know. But yeah, that was all of my factors for you though.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Snubberth. Twitter is going ADOF on sexy and anime girls. They've been doing that for a long time. Remember the what was it? The Protein World ads in London. It's like, oh, beach body ready. That's horrible. That body is unrealistic, except that that's a picture of a real person who put in the effort to get that body. So, but never mind that. Anyway, guys, we're at the time for you to ask questions. If you have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints, please put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you're new here and have no idea what I'm talking about, learn as you go. Thank you, Sean Uli. Your reasoning on Streamlabs makes sense. Here's your 70%. Thanks for entertaining me. Y'all have kept me sane the past 2 years. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. And Sean, throw your fundraiser link up in the chat too. I want to show that. And Kathy Collins, I hope you get everything squared away soon. If you do end up creating a fundraiser for yourself for your surgeries and everything, do let us know, and I'll be more than happy to shill that to the masses. Let's see. Faithless heard about the Kevin Spacey accuser dying. What, the busboy at the restaurant? I hadn't heard that.
I had not heard that.
Unless you're talking about the actor. Which accuser? There's a couple now. But yeah, I hadn't heard that one. Quinn the Cultist. Any of you clap dem alien cheeks? Oh yeah, that sign. You see that sign at the Area 51 thing?
Yeah.
I just. Oh my god. Mata Winter. Oh Lord, what is your favorite way to cook horse? I don't eat horse, nor do I cook it. So I have no favorite way. Do you guys have a favorite way to cook horse? Unless you're talking about putting a lighter underneath a spoon. Because then you could be cooking horse.
You got a point there.
Yeah, but other than that, have you guys ever eaten?
Man, I haven't heard it called horse in forever.
I know. It's just I'm just full of archaic slang for
Old
drugs
man.
for some reason. Yeah.
A flamethrower.
A flamethrower. There you go.
Yeah.
Jared Hart Norris. Satsu, I've been absolutely loving the Borderlands stream. That is all. Right.
Oh, cool. We've been absolutely loving playing it.
Pyrus Creed. Scribe, will you be a smarty and come join the Nazi party? No. That's my reflexive answer. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light. Speaking of Adolf Hitler, why are we suddenly talking about Adolf Hitler? Has anyone seen the Third Reich dating sim by the same people that did the North Korean War? No, the most themed dating sim I've heard about recently was the Kentucky Fried Chicken one. I did not know there was a North Korean dating sim. Or, obviously, by extension, a Third Reich dating sim. I'm not surprised, I guess. There's a dating sim for just about everything. Orpheus Telos, Lords of the Night, ever eaten tongue or brain?
No.
Nope.
No, not in the sense of like an actual like mammal tongue or brain. I'm sure in the process of having a shrimp or something. Or do shellfish have brain, like oysters and that stuff? They technically have brains.
I don't know.
Because if so, technically I have, in that sense.
I know people who eat cow tongue. That's nasty.
Pyrus Creed Scribe, did you get the reference in my previous question, the producers? No, I've seen the producers once, and it was many, many, many years ago. So I don't, except for the musical number and a couple of very random quotes that would have to be sort of mentioned for me to remember it. And yeah, Random American, that was a line from the producers. Okay, well, I don't remember. I remember the chorus of the song is the thing that probably is stuck in my mind if I have to think about it for more. Angry Illinois said, you guys are getting me into playing Borderlands again. Uh-oh, you guys are enablers.
We are.
I'm okay with
I've
that.
told people that before.
Let's see. Angry Illinois, has any of you eaten gator before? I've had alligator. What was it, alligator? Well, I've had alligator and crocodile. Because when I was in Louisiana, I had, I think it was crocodile sausage and an alligator steak or something like that. And as you know, as the cliche goes, except for the seasoning was a little bit different, it tasted like chicken for the most part. Have you guys ever had crocodile or gator?
No.
Quinn the Cult, Scribe Light, when you finish your moon base, are you going to build a death ray on it? No, moon base is not about death, it's about life on another planet. Not about destroying things. At least not yet. Give me my moon base and I'll decide. Data Wasteland. I am surprised Scribe Light missed that line from the producer. Okay, guys, I know a lot about movies, but I'm not an absolute total encyclopedia about down to the line of some movies. Unless it's Hunt for Red October. That'll probably be good. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night, what would you like to have as a self-branded drink? Flavor-wise and style? Well, I would have Scribe Light brand Pepper Jacks. Like already mixed. It's already there. Everything you need is already in the bottle. What about you guys?
Mine would have to be a tequila and messy. Just messy.
Would you call it Stairfaller?
I call it monkey nuts.
Satsu?
Come drink my monkey nuts.
They're talking about what did they say again? I'm sorry.
If you had a custom drink branded for you, what would it be and what would you call it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
RJ Bands with Scribe Light, can we moon each other on a moon base? You can. I just hope you're doing it inside the structure and not outside by pulling down your spacesuit. That would be a bad idea. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light, what game would you guys gravitate towards in an arcade if you would go into one? And maybe before Satsu's time. In an arcade? God, what did I used to go? Well, I used to be first attracted to the pinball machines. Specifically, the Addams Family pinball game, the Jurassic Park pinball game, and there was another one. What? Oh, it was some other movie-related one. But yeah, I used to play pinball quite a bit. I wasn't very good at it, but... Oh, it was a Star Wars one, yeah. As far as, like, actual video games, the Avengers arcade game, the X-Men arcade game, anything comic-related, the Punisher arcade game. I stayed away from Mortal Kombat because, like, first off, those things were always mobbed. And also, the game and all the moves and everything was too complex and competitive for me to really get into because it was really intense for those guys. And I was kind of intimidated by that. Thank you, Non-Vitae Rex. What musical selection are you taking to Moonbase? Well, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. And fly me to the moon, let me play amongst the stars. If You Believe There's a Man on the Moon by REM. And anything moon related. As long as moon has something to do with the song, obviously.
Moon River?
Moon River. What arcade games did you like to play, Monkey?
My favorite arcade game ever was Punch-Out. That's one I probably spent the most quarters on.
Yeah.
As a boxing fan, and other than that, I always gravitate towards the simulators, like a racing game where you actually sit down and drive, or the shooting ones. I always fucking love the shooting ones.
Satsu, have you ever been to an arcade?
Yes, I've been to an arcade. And the game I think I remember spending the most money on is the Simpsons beat-em-up game, the arcade one. I played the shit out of that. And House of the Dead, I spent a shit ton of money on.
Yeah.
House of the Dead, I play a lot of Tekken.
Let's see. Orpheus Telos, Scribe Light, why moon base and not Mars base? Well, we need the moon base first, because that was the... Insofar as, like, off-planet habitation, that's been the low-hanging fruit since the 60s, and we just haven't done it yet. So as far as I'm concerned, we need to get the moon base set up, because then we can use the moon as a slightly more convenient launching pad, or at least way station, for trips to Mars and back again. But yeah, I think we should get the technology built and have the procedures figured out for occupancy on the moon. That'll be sort of a testing ground for what we need to do to set up permanent colonies on Mars. Again, all of this should have started in the early 80s at the latest, but here we are. Let's see. Random American, should we terraform Venus to give the environmentalists a planet B, or can we just tell them it's terraformed and send them anyway? No. That's my answer. Terraform Venus, you're not gonna do that. Okay, guys. Chat jumped, so if I missed your question, please repost. Sean Uli, Scribe.
Right back,
okay. Scribe, have you ever had a flaming Dr. Pepper? No, I wish not to set my face on fire.
Oh, have you heard about those?
Yes, I'm aware of them. Oh, Irate Bear. Hello, you're awake.
He's working.
Oh, well, Irate Bear, Alex. Just so you know, people have sort of, I wouldn't say complained, but questioned why I would just call you Bear Man in this kind of plain as compared to the others. Well, I didn't consider until after the fact, and you might be happy about this to know, that I should have named you Substantive Man. But at the same time, I wasn't sure I'd be able to fit that conveniently on there. Of course, I did get interrupted up there, so I could have done it. But anyway, so I was thinking of you, although after I'd already completed the mock-up. So. Kathy Collins, thank you, Scribe Light, for your kind wishes. Question, if you were to stream a game to your YouTube channel, what would you choose for your debut gaming stream? A lot of people have said they want to see me play Grim Dawn. And truth be told, I did attempt a few days ago to record some gameplay of Grim Dawn with OBS. But then the game froze like 3 minutes into the middle of it. And I don't know why. It's the first time it had done that before, so I don't know if I did something wrong or the OBS thing was screwing up with the video, or I don't know. But if I did, that's one that people have said I should try to stream so I can explain it and play it and that kind of thing. So
yeah, OBS might have been using too many resources. It does that sometimes.
Yeah, that could be the case. Let's see. Irate Bear says, should be Downs Man. Yeah. All right, maybe next time. Maybe if I do this again and I do a different lineup, I'll make sure that you are Downsy Bear Man or something. Delfruit, Scribelight, did you ever own a pair of Nickelodeon moon boots or the originals from the 50s? No, I did not. Jack Polly, whose power beats who according to Mega Man's theme? Oh, well, let's see. I would assume that Schlong Man Schlong would defeat Meatloaf Man's meat. And then Meatloaf Man would probably defeat Stroke Man because he'd clog the arteries. And then Stroke Man would be used to defeat Bear Man for reasons. And there's always like one weapon in Mega Man that never made any sense between them two. And then Bear Man's claws would work on probably Interrupted Man, because I'm relatively no wait, I guess I'll tell you that. Bear Man claws work on Stairs Man, because Monkey is the weakest of us all and couldn't run away from Bear Man's claws. And then Stairs Man would work on Interrupted Man because Stairs Man tends to interrupt Interrupted Man. And then Interrupted Man would beat Scotsman because you don't want to try to interrupt a drunk Scotsman. And then drunk Scotsman's like shillelagh power or whatever would beat up on YouTube, I guess. Sure, there you go. Order of operations. Ebony Williams, Scribe, may I have a forehead pat? Oh, I'm having flashbacks to IRC all of a sudden. It's like what was the was it slash? What was the command to put your name in front of an action?
Oh God.
Yeah, was it slash E?
5.
God damn.
Dude.
I know, no, I know, but there was a way. It was.
I know what you're talking about,
yeah.
but dude.
It was slash do something. God damn. I want to do that now. I don't want. Somebody find out. Somebody remind me. What was the IRC command to in the chat make you say like Scribe light and then pat your head kind of thing. Me. That's what it was. Slash me. That's right. Me. Yes. Okay, I think that's what it was. Guys, it's been so long, right? There we go. Thank you guys. Ace Phoenix, I wonder how Meatloaf Man feels knowing that Schlong Man is going to beat their meat. Yeah, I know, right? That was the joke. Let's see. Auto Winter. Oh, Lauds, why are all of the robot masters you made named after their own weaknesses? What? Like Bear's weakness is bear? Well, I guess that's true. You're right. I don't know if Tail's weakness is Scott's, but and I don't know if being a daddy is a weakness for Satsu. And Weibo's Schlong is certainly not a weakness. So it's a mixed bag. What can I tell you?
No, it's a clitoris.
Sure. Let's see. Jack Polly says, Scribe just proved no one beats Daddy Man. Oh, did I forget Daddy Man? No, wait, I thought oh, maybe I did. I guess so. I guess nobody beats Daddy Man. Here you go. Ebony Williams Scribe, you're welcome, Ebony. Let's see. Pete says, oh, sorry, Peter Silent Katie's 313. Stairs Man would beat Interrupted Man because he would just interrupt every attempt at attacking.
So what I do? But only to you.
Assassin of the Grey, Scribe Light.
You know what else?
What?
Nothing. I was just fucking with you.
Were you really? I couldn't tell.
I really was.
Assassin of the Grey, Scribe Light. Bear's weakness is mange. You know what YouTube has been throwing at me lately, and for no particular reason, but I can't help it. I mean, they threw me like one or two of them, and I end up watching one of them, and now, of course, they show them all. There's this channel, I forget what it's called. It's like Animal Rescue India or something. And it's these videos of these like street dogs in India, and there's this like clinic that rescues these street dogs and treats their injuries and their illnesses and heals them all up. And then of course they cut to a month later, 2 months later, so you have these super like completely transformed, happy, healthy puppies running around, all playful. And a lot of the videos have to do with these dogs that just have ridiculous mange to the point where they have no hair and they're basically bald and they're all infested with parasites and their skin looks like cracked rock. And then you see just how it goes from this, sad, pathetic, on the step of death's door animal, and then what these guys do to completely transform them into like an entirely healthy dog. And it's one of those pulls at your heartstrings every time you see it kind of thing. I'm not one of those animal lovers that like breaks down into a puddle of goo seeing an animal in distress. At the same time, I'm not inhuman or anything. So when I see stuff like that, I just go like, oh, happy puppy. But now YouTube just posts like, recommends me those things like 2 or 3 times a day now, and I don't know if I can watch another dog with a cut up leg and that kind of stuff. Mr. Monopoly, Scribe Light, do you remember American Gladiator? Do I ever? Malibu and who was the other guy? Oh God, I can see his face and I can't remember his code name. But yeah, no, with the giant Q-tips, and they knocked each other off the pedestals, and the gauntlet, where I remember in the early days of that show, part of the gauntlet was they'd hide behind a twig. It was really like the barrier against the golf balls or whatever being shot at them was an actual like tree branch they were just hiding behind. It wasn't until later episodes where they just ditched all that sort of like thematic stuff and just put up like box barriers and things. And the guy who hosted that show was such a goofy game show host. I forget his name, but he was one of those like failed sports announcers or something. But he treated it so seriously, you couldn't help but respect the guy for putting us all forward. But man, the hair and the outfits on some of those guys. Oh, Turbo. So yeah, that's right. Turbo and Laser. Yeah, Laser and Turbo.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Malibu.
Gemini,
Laser.
that was the black guy.
Gemini, right? Gemini.
The girls, I forget who they were.
Wasn't there an Athena in there?
Maybe.
I thought there was an Athena.
The only ones I remember is Turbo and Gemini.
Yeah, Turbo, Gemini, Laser. I do remember recently somebody, I forget which one it was, but somebody sent out a photo of like, a where are they now kind of thing of one of the American Gladiators. And I think it might have been Malibu. And he looks awful. Actually, he might already be dead or something. I forget. But there was somebody like said, like, here's Malibu today. And he was like skinny and meth addict or something. I don't want to, I forget what it was. He just looked really bad. Motto Winter, oh lords, have you heard of James Bondage? No, I haven't actually.
Is that real?
Angry Illinois says Nitro. That's right, Nitro and Diamond. Diamond and Nitro.
Oh, Diamond, yeah.
Yeah, Diamond. Did they bring that back for a little while, not a few years ago?
I think they tried to, yeah, and I'm not sure it did very well.
Yeah, I don't think it... Yeah, let's see. Faithless says Malibu sounds like a stripper name. He was a surfer dude. That was his thing. He was this long, like, golden mane of hair surfer dude guy, you know? Let's see. Oh, Moonshock says women were lace, diamond, and gold. All right. And B Junkie says the only gladiator worth remembering is Gina Carano. I don't know who that is. I will have to look her up. Random American says, I remember someone winning by leaping over the gladiator at the end, and then they had to change the end because others did it too. Oh. Was that like the end of the obstacle course or whatever? Jack Polly says, those chicks were hot. The American Gladiator chicks? Well, they were in good shape. Moonshock says, that was Thunder, the long hair. No, Malibu had a big mane of hair, too. A big mane of blonde hair. I remember that. Might have been another guy there with long hair, but Malibu had, like, huge, like, like, Poison, the band, Poison hair, like, huge hair. Let's see. Delfruitio to Scribe. I think I got it. Bear to Daddy to Stairs to Interrupted to Meatloaf to Stroke to Schlong to Scots to Bear. Bear started it. So Bear is a dad too, but also a bear. Yes, Sweet Gulf City, Texas gal. Hollywood All-Star Battle of the Sexes. Was there a guy named Hollywood in?
Oh, I think there was.
Yeah, I thought there was a guy. Yeah.
Well, later seasons, because there were only like 4 of them or 5 of them at the very beginning, and then they had like a whole cast that they had later on.
Yeah, and they rotated in and out some.
Yeah.
3-minute warning, guys. You have any questions I haven't covered or touched on or anything else? Be sure to put it in now. Remember, after this over on 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Satsu will be playing Borderlands 3. Is there a giveaway tonight?
It's Friday, so yes.
Okay, there'll be a giveaway of some kind, so be sure to attend. And yeah. Out of Winter, Lords of the Night. Why Scribe no have baby yet?
Because unlike the rest of us, he uses condoms.
I have not yet impregnated a woman. That is the literal answer to that question. There you go. Jay Poitras says, Dark Alile, I'm on 5 months of listening to the Horsecock song every day. I think you might have a problem, Jay Poitras. I think
that might be an issue.
I think you need to seek therapy on that one. Devil Fruit Zero says, Stroke Man needs to beat Schlong Man. That is a good point. That's a good point. Stroke Man's power could beat Schlong Man. Random American says, Scribe has no uterus. That is also a very good answer to that question. Thank you, Random American. B Junkie, Borderlands worth buying. I'm assuming the first game. The first game I hear is very good. Second game is better or worse?
Second game is the best.
Second game is the best. Okay, so it goes So in descending order, it goes Borderlands 2, Borderlands, and then Borderlands 3, or 2, 3, and 1?
I would go 2, 3, 1, and the pre-sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then Telltale games.
Do you have to have played the first one to get and understand or enjoy the second one?
You should,
No,
but
well,
you don't have to.
There's emotional attachments you gain in each game that carry over to the next one. Like characters you meet in 1 or in 2, and things happen to them, and then people in 2, there's things that happen to them in 3. You don't have to. They explain who they are basically, so you can still play it without knowing, but you might miss some of the poignant moments.
By the way, I should mention that starting tomorrow, and only tomorrow, because it's the 80th anniversary of Batman or something. And I don't mean to shill the Epic Games Store, but this is a pretty good deal. If you have an Epic Games Store account and you go on there tomorrow, you can download for free and to keep in perpetuity all 3 Lego Batman games and all 3 Batman Arkham Asylum games.
You can do that now, actually.
Yeah, I did that yesterday.
Oh, is it already on there? Okay, well, I heard it was starting tomorrow. But either way, yeah, I guess it's only this weekend. So if you want, especially the latter 3, or the latter chunk, that's some crazy AAA games right there for absolutely free. I think you still have to pay some ridiculous price on Steam for those. But yeah.
Well, yeah, if you don't get them on the Steam sales, yeah, they're still, I believe, upwards of $30.
But these are free.
Yeah, yours to keep. What the Epic Store does this every week. They give away a set of games.
Oh, okay.
Or a game usually. This is the first time I've seen a set.
6 fucking games.
Yeah, next week they're giving away Exodus Metro.
Oh,
or
wow.
Metro Exodus.
Wow, that's relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guys, yeah, so there you go. We're at the top of the hour and the end of the show. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us, as you always do. You guys really are the best audience in the world. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is, well, so well behaved and accustomed to the humor amongst themselves and us that there's rarely anything to police, but we appreciate you keeping a lookout. Everyone who donated, I say it every time, but I can't say it enough. I really do appreciate your generosity. I'm always humbled by it. I appreciate the gesture, and all of that money will go to horrible things I will put into my body, mostly goldfish and Jack Daniels.
Okay.
No, horse. So remember, guys, over on 2 Cents Plus, right after this, Borderlands 3 with Monkey and Satsu. There'll be a giveaway in there somewhere of something if you're paying attention. And remember, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. And also keep an eye out, because tomorrow morning-ish sometime on the East Coast, early AM, Monkey will probably do a stream of some kind. Probably.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Keep your eyes out. But with that, guys, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Everyone else, your lives make us sad. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Let's see. Monkey, pick a number between 1 and 3.
Oh, 2.
Okay. Because I have, for whatever reason, I have 3 books on my end of my table today. So I have. This is a true crime book, or novel, I guess, called The Last Stone by Mark Bowden. This is the same guy who authored Black Hawk Down. It's a true crime book about a series of murders, and I'm flipping to e-random page. And today's secret word is narrative.
I know what that word means.
Do you? You are so smart.
I smirt.
Are you a smarty? Would you like to join the Nazi party?
No, I'm good, but